The Great American Bash returns to PLE status, and the crowd goes mild. I'm Chris Wolvie, the wrestling vlog who always tells it like it is. Funnily enough, if you include the one episode of SmackDown that was called that, this will be the 25th version of the Great American Bash. And while Dusty Rhodes might be looking down happy that the NXT is finally back on the road for PLEs, Jim Crockett is looking down wondering, what the hell have you done to this? Yeah, it was the NWA WCW's version of SummerSlam in the 90s, but it was shelved for a while once the sale was made. Then the WWE brought it back as a SmackDown-only pay-per-view for a while, calling the last one simply The Bash, since the WWE Universe isn't just Americans. And more recently, it was brought back as a special event in NXT during the pandemic. But now, the NXT is traveling out of the Performance Center to have the Bash return to its slightly less than SummerSlam state. And truth be told, it's not that bad a lineup. All four belted titles on the line, the never thought I'd see debut of a gold medalist, a weapons wild match, and a fairly unique kickoff to it. NXT is out to show that their incarceration in the PC for 3 years is just what they needed to bring the show bigger audiences, even if the arenas they're held in aren't exactly the most well known. Better an audience of 10,000 plus in nowhere than an audience of 300 in a place way too familiar. Here are my predictions for NXT, the Great American Bash. Let's start with the kickoff match. Holy crap, there's a kickoff match? Anyway, mixed 8-person tag. Dragon Lee, Heritage Cup holder Nathan Frazier, Yulisa Leon, and Valentina Feroz versus the Metaphor. Noam Dar, Aura Mensa, Jakara Jackson, and Lash Legend. You should know how I feel about mixed tag matches these days. This would be better off as two separate tag matches, if you ask me. But Lee and Frazier have kind of got into a rut lately, one which I don't think the two Latino ladies can help get them out of. Now that Noam Dar has a faux Heritage Cup in his hands and is out of his coma, he and Mensa are ready to slay, and I guess Jackson and Legend will help a bit as well. Winners, Metaphor. Gable Stevenson versus Baron Corbin. Is this how low the former King of the Ring has sunk? After getting some footing back in NXT, he's being reduced to pushing someone who was drafted to Raw some 2 years ago, and only now is having his first pro match? I was kind of hoping Stevenson would train for Paris next year because his WWE career was getting nowhere. But now he's apparently found an angle for a gold medalist that isn't the same angle as, well, Angle. We'll see how he does, I guess. Make the kid look good, Corbin. I dare say he's your replacement. Winner, Gable Stevenson. Weapons Wild match. Roxanne Perez against Blair Davenport. Say it like it is, okay? It's a no-holds-barred match with the winner being decided in the ring, and chances are most of the weapons to be used will surround the ringside. We don't see too many such matches with the women, and I, for one, welcome it. Both Perez and Davenport have proven they're just as tough as the men, but here's the thing. Davenport hasn't exactly been too active lately. Ever since she missed the chance at the women's title at Worlds Class, it's like she's waiting for WWE Europe to premiere or something. If she's going to stick around, she needs a big win. And Perez, she's not that big a winner. Winner is Blair Davenport. NXT Tag Team titles. Gallus defends against the family of Tony D'Angelo and Stax. I guess the whole the Don in jail angle was ditched fairly quickly. Or this may have been some kind of misdirection to it, where Stax will turn on D'Angelo and knock him on his stereotypical butt. Either way, I just can't see Gallus giving up the titles just... of course, as you can tell by my rankings, the NXT tag division is even worse than the main rosters. Still, Wolfgang and Kofi don't look like they're slowing down a bit. Sure, we could use some fresh blood behind those belts, but until more tag teams come to replace Pretty Deadly and the Creeds, that ain't happening. Winners and still champs, Gallus. Triple threat match for the North American Championship. Dirty Dominic Mysterio defends against Mustafa Ali and Wes Lee. You guys should also know how I feel about main roster talent swooping in and taking NXT titles. It didn't work for me with Dolph Ziggler, and it doesn't work for me with Dum Dum. Of course, there's always the chance that the rest of the Judgment Day will outnumber the challengers, this being a no DQ match and all, but I'm hoping against that happening, and since I want to see what Wes Lee is like without a title now, that leaves just one man standing. Winner and new champ, Mustafa Ali. Submission match for the NXT Women's Championship. Tiffany Stratton versus Thea Hale. Okay, look, I'll say that Thea Hale has been energetic since her debut with Chase U. It's like she orders a triple espresso to pour into her rock star every morning. But she just hasn't impressed me much in the ring. It almost seems like she has 2 or 3 moves at most. Sure, the submission hold has been effective lately, and yes, I really haven't seen Stratton with any submission holds, but I think Stratton will surprise us just like Kurt Angle did with the angle lock and Undertaker with the guillotine triangle choke. With that added to her arsenal, she will rise out of Hale for certain. Winner and still champ, Tiffany Stratton. Finally, NXT Championship match, Carmelo Hayes versus Ilya Dragunov. Oh dear, why do I fear that what I said last year is coming true? Why do I fear that they are turning Dragunov heel simply because he's Russian, and why do I fear that praise from Vladimir Putin coming out of Ilya's mouth is not too far behind? God, I hope not. The one thing about Dragunov I've seen lately is that he may be knocked around like a rag doll, but he always kicks out. I'm certain Hayes knows this and is working on a strategy to put him down for good somehow. But in a battle against faces, I mean, no one really wins. Well, it'll be a great match, no doubt. And I know Dragunov deserves the NXT title soon, but if they're gonna turn him heel to do it, count me out! Winner and still champ, Carmelo Hayes. Those are my picks. In 6 days, SummerSlam picks. I'm Chris Wolvie, the wrestling blogger who always tells it like it is. Pray for peace. I'll see you.